boy. He handled it well. Oh, boy. The madness is already starting early. Celtics fans, they've only watched 6 home wins so far this postseason. They're charged up and ready to go. So we are still nearly 3 hours away from tip-off. Let's go by the numbers on what's plaguing Boston. The Celtics have been doomed when they've committed 16-plus turnovers this postseason, going 1-7 in those games. They're 13-2 when committing 15 or fewer turnovers in these playoffs. Boston didn't do itself any favors in the fourth quarter of Game 5. Celtics shot just 27% from the floor. That's their lowest field goal percentage in a fourth quarter this postseason, and their third worst in any quarter. And Jason Tatum has to get going when it matters the most. Two-time All-NBA selection, shot just 1 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter of Game 5. 5 of 21 in the fourth quarter of this series. Greeny has much more in the NBA with the NBA Countdown crew. Starting with some news, Greeny. Take it away.
Absolutely, Kevin, and there's the number as you go by the numbers right in front of you that the Celtics and their fans are worried about tonight. It's 18, the chase for that many banners up in these rafters. They need 2 wins in order to get there, and we are here and delighted to be here. Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, Jalen Rose, I'm Greeny. We have a full night coming your way, including 2 countdowns, and so the trophy is in the building. The commissioner of the NBA, once again, is not, and so let's get the very latest on that from our very own insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, what is the latest on Adam Silver?
Yeah, Greeny, Adam Silver remains in COVID protocols. If Golden State were to win tonight, clinch the championship, then I'm told Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum would make the trophy presentation to Golden State. But I'm told that Adam Silver is fully recovered. He is 1 day away from clearing the league's protocols, and so if Boston extends this series to a Game 7 on Sunday, the expectation is that Adam Silver would be in San Francisco on Sunday to present the trophy for the 9th consecutive year as NBA commissioner.
All right, Woj, thank you. And obviously the most important part of that is the commissioner is feeling fine, and as always, we all wish him well. Meanwhile, let's bring it here and let's talk about the game. So a lot of conversation about Jason Tatum. We know the Celtics need him to play well, but we also know, Stephen A., he isn't going to win this game by himself. Give me another Celtic that needs to play big tonight.
Well, I was going to say Derek White because he shot 55% in the Game 1, but then 29% since. But I'm still going to go the direction of Jaylen Brown, fellas. And here's the reason why. We know if Jason Tatum doesn't step up, who Udoka's going to go to ask to step up is going to be Jaylen Brown. He's certainly not going to go away from the both of them because he can't afford to do that. One or the other is definitely going to be required to step up and handle business, especially if the other doesn't do so. Jaylen Brown is scoring points in the fourth quarter, but he's only shooting 40% from the field. He's shooting less than that from three-point range. He's turning the ball over a bit too much himself, and he's got to be better. There's no doubt about it. But if the Boston Celtics are going to push this to a Game 7 back in San Francisco, Jaylen Brown would be the dude that needs to step up if Jason Tatum can't do it.
Better be more than one dude. I mean, I'm done with this this is not tennis or golf. The U.S. Open is around the corner.
That's right.
No, it needs to be, it needs to be the ensemble effort. We saw Golden State finally get to this. Why were they able to win without Steph Curry hitting a three-pointer? Because you had multiple people playing well. You had Gary Payton second stepping into an area we didn't think he was going to produce 15 points. So the Celtics are going to need that tonight. They have not played all that well at home anyway. 6-5 is their record at home in these playoffs. So how about everybody doing what the Celtics have done to put those banners up there, which is being a team. 18. Let's look at the team dynamic and don't just wait around for Jason Tatum or Tatum and Brown. How about Smart? How about Robert Williams? How about all of them chip in and do their jobs as an ensemble and a team?
We're so enamored with the Splash Brothers and their amazing three-point shooting, and rightfully so. It's Steph and Clay. But they're only 2 players. If you're going to beat the Warriors, you got to beat them in the paint. The team that wins the point paints are 5-0 in this series. So I'm looking at the bigs for the Celtics. Al Horford had 26 points in the first game. He's had 30 total since. Robert Williams III has 0 blocks last game. And Grant Williams is only averaging 4 points from a guy that had 27 in the closeout game against the Bucks. Those three guys, and obviously bringing it defensively.
Well, I'm just going to get on Greeny here. I'm not going to even fault y'all because Greeny said which player.
Yeah.
We all know others have to step up. We understand this is a team sport. We understand there's 5 dudes on the court for one team at the same time. I answered the question, okay? Yeah. Of course, everybody. Of course, y'all are right. But I answered Greeny's question directly if I got to pick one player.
You will have to forgive my distraction, but Michael Wilbon has a half-eaten chocolate chip cookie sitting right here. It is impossible for any of us to focus.
Put it in the microwave.
He didn't think about giving us or offering us a piece. I was trying to stay.
We've got a long night ahead of us tonight. Oh, and Steph Curry is in the building. Will he walk out with his 4th NBA championship tonight? We're on our way to finding out. Elle, let me send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Greeny. You're right. Coming up, we will stay there. What to expect from Steph Curry after his over last game. King Petty back in Boston, hoping to channel Game 6 Clay. Maybe Boston.
Open is just 7 miles away from TD Garden, and Celtics fans are getting ready for their final home game of the season as we could crown an NBA champion tonight. The Warriors just 1 win away from a title. Now, the Celtics are playing in their 22nd NBA Finals. They've only been eliminated on their home floor once by the 1985 Lakers. Another West Coast dynasty is knocking tonight as we get you ready for Game 6 of the NBA Finals later on tonight on ABC. Kevin Nagandi live courtside here on the floor at TD Garden with Elle Duncan live there in Bristol. And Elle coming up later in the program, Stephen A. Smith joining us live with the very latest on how the Celtics can keep their season alive.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. And, of course, Lamar Jackson finally speaking for the first time, Kevin, in 5 months about his bid for a new contract with the Ravens, so we'll hear from him in a second as well. But Kev, let's get everybody set for Game 6, right, of these NBA Finals. Can't wait. With a win tonight, as Golden State leads 3 games to 2, the Dubs would lock up their 4th title over the last 8 seasons. That would be their first team to win 4 rings in 8 seasons since the Bulls won 6 from 91 to 98. In Game 5, it was Steph Curry failing to make a 3-point field goal for the first time in his NBA playoff career. He was 0 for 9 from 3. His streak of 132 consecutive playoff games with a made 3-point field goal was the longest in NBA history. For their part, the Celtics are 3-0 when they face elimination this postseason. With a win, Boston would have 4 wins when facing elimination for the first time in a single postseason. And finally, they'll need their All-NBA first-teamer to deliver if they want to force the Game 7. Jason Tatum averaging just 9.5 points a game on 29% shooting in the second half this series, though, Kevin, he did go for 14 in the second half of Game 5.
L Sports Center on the Road is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For more on Jason Tatum, NBA reporter Brian Windhorst joining us now courtside. And you know, Tatum's had a fantastic playoff. Yeah. No one can doubt that. Logging the most minutes by any player in the league in this postseason. We're seeing the struggles, though, in the finals. What are you hearing? What concerns Boston right now about Tatum?
You and L just pointed it out. It's all the minutes, and look at that second half shooting and scoring. There's a worry that the fatigue is catching up to him. He had a number of air balls in the second half in Game 5. So Ime Udoka is going to try to find some rest for him tonight. He played him 44 minutes in Game 5. It's hard to say that, Kevin, in a situation when you're in an elimination game, but he's going to try to get him little breaks. Even if there's an immediate timeout coming, he can pull him off for 30 seconds so he can take advantage of the timeout and get 4 or 5 minutes of actual rest. They feel like they need to keep him a little bit fresher going down the stretch to give him a better chance to make more of an impact.
Yeah, bottom line, they can't be down 24-8 in the first quarter like they were in the last game, right? That's why you need him on the floor at all times.
He's played almost 1,000 minutes this postseason, just this postseason. Kyrie Irving played like 1,100 minutes the whole year. So that just kind of tells you how much workload he's been carrying.
Okay, more from Wendy coming up later on SportsCenter as we're here for 2 hours. Of course, this is the Celtics side. Let's go back to Elle for the Warriors' perspective.
I'm glad you said the Warriors. We heard Steph Curry say he was the petty king yesterday. It's Wendy. Looking to close out the series tonight, we talked about how good Boston is in elimination games. Dubs 3-3 with an opportunity to clinch this postseason. It gets worse when they're on the road. They're 0-3 in closeout opportunities. However, Golden State's won 5 of 6 series when leading 3-2 under Steve Kerr, with the lone loss being, you know it, those 2016 finals against the Cavs. But Draymond was suspended. Kendra Andrews covers the Warriors for us and joins us now live from TD Garden. Kendra, what can you share with us about the Warriors' mindset as they look to close things out tonight?
Yeah, well, as you said, the Warriors are 0-3 in closing out series this postseason on their first attempt. Meanwhile, the Celtics 3-0 when facing elimination. But Steve Kerr said this morning he could sense a great deal of focus and confidence from his team. The mood around shoot-around was light. It was fun. Draymond Green was dancing around, but you could definitely sense that focus. Stephen Curry said, closing out, and not just this series, but the NBA Finals is the hardest game you will ever play in your career because of what is at stake. The Warriors are dealing with their own anxiety and their nerves about what's waiting for them on the other side of this game. And they're facing a team that's playing with nothing to lose, right? And the Warriors know that the Celtics team in particular is super hard to beat, especially in this building. Klay Thompson said, for us to match that desperation that they'll play with or exceed it, we're going to have to play with as much force and energy and effort as we've had to play with all season long. And the Warriors hope that they can get it done tonight and not send this back to San Francisco.
It's difficult because it's on the road and also because no one's beat the Celtics 3 times. They haven't lost 3 times in a row since December. Part of the reason Golden State a 3.5-point underdog in this one tonight. But of course,